Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
So guys, I want to start this video off and show you some of the new analysis Attorney Bill was doing last night, specifically around the court's most recent decision on DPP. Right here, he addresses two of the biggest issues some of the lawyers following this case had with this ruling. Now, it's important to point out that overall, this ruling was a huge win for Ripple and was extremely bullish. But some of the lawyers following this case were worried about two small issues, and I think Attorney Bill did an excellent job of summarizing these in this tweet thread. First, he says the appeal chances of the SEC are so weak, it has virtually no hope if it appeals. Remember, the SEC would need to show an error of fact or law. The request for a reconsideration was not based on an assertion of an error of law. It was based on an assertion the judge overlooked two factual matters. She dealt with both of these very carefully on reconsideration. Right here, Bill is telling us that he believes an appeal to a higher level court is actually pretty unrealistic, and this is very good because this would actually prevent any further delays to this case. He thinks it is unrealistic because Judge Knepper actually did such a good job of breaking down the SEC's original argument for reconsideration and dismissing and rejecting it, and because of that, there's not actually that much for the SEC to realistically appeal here. For this reason, he actually does not think an appeal is realistic, and this is consistent with what other lawyers have been saying. He then goes on to say that he believes his DPP battle over the emails is done, but he does believe the SEC will try to exceed what they were allowed in redactions. Now, he goes on, though, to point out that even the fact that the judge went out of her way to provide examples of what the SEC was allowed to redact, and that she was so clear in what specifically the SEC was and was not allowed to redact, it shows that the judge is going to be watching this extremely carefully, and he ultimately doesn't believe because of this that the SEC is simply going to be able to redact all the smoking guns contained in these emails. Now, that is obviously extremely bullish, so I tweeted out in response to this the SEC's decisions on whether or not they will appeal this most recent DPP ruling is going to tell us a lot about where the SEC's head is at after this major defeat. And the reason I said this is because Bill has already told us, and a lot of other lawyers following this case, that the SEC appealing this decision is hopeless. So I think it's going to be super interesting to see if they appeal this decision knowing it's hopeless simply to create further delays, or whether they choose not to appeal it, which would almost guarantee us that the SEC is already sitting down at the settling table with Ripple trying to end this case once and for all. Now, another thing I think we need to be paying very close attention to, and I tweeted this out earlier, is the SEC now needs to be extremely careful they do not entice Ripple to go to summary judgment. A loss in summary judgment for the SEC would be catastrophic. And the reason for this is, and I did talk to multiple lawyers about this, if the SEC does not figure out a way to settle this case with Ripple and they lose in summary judgment, which in no doubt they will lose in summary judgment, they are going to have to pay all of Ripple's very, very, very expensive legal fees, but more importantly for the SEC, all the documentation and the rulings are gonna become public, and it's gonna create a playbook for other cryptocurrency companies to use when the SEC inevitably starts going after some easier targets. For this reason, the SEC needs to be very careful that they do not continue to delay this case and put Ripple in a position where they would rather just go to summary judgment rather than sitting around and waiting for the SEC to come to the settling table. For this reason, I believe it is highly likely that the SEC is at its maximum incentive to settle this case immediately and not persuade Ripple at all to go to summary judgment and really damage the SEC going forward. Now guys, this next piece of news I could not believe when I first saw it. It's out of Attorney Fred, and Attorney Fred has done such a great job in helping us understand understand the legal proceedings going on in this case, and just today he announced that he is actually going to be suing in a class action lawsuit both Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton. He put out this entire tweet thread. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but make sure you go to my Twitter and check it out. What he says here is so powerful. He says that he does not believe there will be an independent investigation, but he believes it is the XRP's Army's job to hold these corrupt officials accountable, and for that reason, he is taking it upon himself to sue Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman for their obvious and blatant acts of corruption when they were working at the SEC. So guys, I'm trying to get Fred on this channel to talk specifically about this class action lawsuit, but I wanted to read you these last couple lines from his tweet thread because I thought they were amazing. The XRPL network, like all blockchain networks, should have been given a level playing field. The XRP Army did not ask for this fight, it did not start this fight, but it will win this fight. Guys, this is awesome. Make sure to go on to Twitter and thank Fred for what he is doing here. This is not going to be easy for him. It's going to take a lot of work, but we all owe him for holding the SEC accountable for what went on at their disastrous agencies. Fred, if you're watching this, thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me as an XRP holder, and I couldn't think of a better person to be representing me. And what's my overall thoughts on this class action lawsuit? Well, I cannot believe how poorly this is going for the SEC. They thought they were going to be able to get away with all of this. They thought they could be as corrupt as they wanted and no one would ever catch on to them. But now, not only is the agency being held accountable by John Deaton and Power, but now Bill Hinman and Jay Clayton are being attacked separately. Guys, the SEC did not know who they were messing with when they tried to F over the XRP Army, but I am so proud of everyone for not letting them get away with any of this. I guarantee you they are gonna fully regret this when it is said and done. And of course, I had to show you this XRP Productions meme. It's a fake news article. It reads, William Hinman files class action suit against XRP holders for filing too many class action suits against him. This guy's hilarious. Make sure to give him a follow. He is always producing the funniest content like this. Last of all, guys, I want to finish this video off with a narrative that can no longer be ignored. That has to do with inbound cyber attacks and a reset of our financial system. Just so you guys know, this has been being talked about by high-level elites for years now. And finally, we are seeing it come to fruition. It seems like it's more imminent than ever, so I just want you guys to be prepared. What can you do? Who knows? But just look at this. Just today, breaking, US says advanced hackers have demonstrated ability to hijack multiple industrial control systems. I don't know exactly what industrial control systems are, but it doesn't sound good, especially if the US claims that they know hackers have control of this. Who knows how staged this is, but either way, it seems like people are forecasting a major event, and on top of that, a former Treasury Secretary of the United States tweeted out, "You are witnessing the deliberate destruction of the US economy." All these narratives are coming together. I think we need to be paying attention to them.
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below, and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.